Guys are retarded. This should be fun. Hey y'all, gravity. Any day above ground, live it. I know y'all gonna cuss me later for playing this, but I had to get a piece of this. Oh boy. Well, we can finally confirm that they're not credible journalists. Because if you're gonna platform Nick Fuentes, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Yes, I said the bottle of the barrel. Yeah. Because sometimes in a barrel there's a bottle. I'm Jamaican. If you don't know that, you'll know it now. But let's have fun with this real fast. All right. So this should be fun. So let's begin. It's not going to be fun. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I got to show y'all. Got a damn good shit. Got Nick Fuentes back in the house. Yeah. What's up, brother? What's up?
They're way too happy.
Yeah, likewise. Good to see you. Yeah. You still in Chicago? I'm still in Chicago, yeah. Get the hell out of there. You got crazy women knocking on your door? Yeah. Killers, yeah. Well, it's ironic, the demographic. You know, in Chicago, I'm getting crazy Jewish woman, some young white guy. Oh, she was Jewish? Yeah, turned out to be Jewish after the fact, which is surprising. How did that all go down? Well, you know, on the
Jacoby,
night of the election, I put out a tweet. I said, "Your body, my choice," which is just flipping around. You know, my body, my choice. So I put that out there. And the irony is, I didn't even vote for Trump. Yeah. I was telling people no. I was telling people not to vote. But on the night of the election, we were all having fun. It was just good to see Trump win and Kamala lose. So I just put that out there to be funny. And it blew up. It got like 100 million views on Twitter. People were talking about it on the news. And then... because of that quote? Yeah, just for the tweet.
And what did you get out of it, sir? You're still in the same position you're in now. No news organization came on to have you talk. Jubilee didn't call you to go debate people. No network said, hey, let's holler at you. Piers Morgan don't even want to talk to you, and he platform anybody. Yeah, 100 million views on X and around social media, and you got nothing out of it. Must be nice.
Wait, it was... What's that quote again? Your body, my choice. Did you see how they get triggered over it, right?
Yeah, an incel telling you that.
Guess what? Guys win again, okay? Men win again. And yes, we control your bodies. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. It's your body, my choice. And men win it again. Men win again. They will never, ever be a female president. Never be a female president, ever. Glass ceiling.
What's up, Baba? Hello to the room.
Never break it. Your stupid face keeps hitting the brick ceiling. We will keep you down forever. You will never control your own bodies.
I just want y'all to understand, these two idiots have wives and children, and they're laughing at an incel telling a woman that a man should control their body. An incel controls your body. I just want y'all to understand this. And they're laughing. Yeah, we know who is consistently drawing the other spouse's baths every night.
Yeah, so they turned that into a sound on TikTok. Women put that on TikTok, and they were crying while that was playing. That was the audio. Yeah. So, you know, this thing blows up, and it turns into an international incident practically. And so then, at the same time that's going viral, people started posting my address, and then my address went viral. That's crazy. And so I had, like, probably the...
Right. People found your address. Okay, dude.
Weekend after the election, maybe 50 or 100 people show up at my house. People throwing eggs at my front door, taking pictures, walking through my backyard. Yeah, it was like it was.
They're not tokens. Tokens have value.
And then I don't want to talk too specifically about it because I got charged for battery in connection to this, which is ongoing. But this woman comes in my house looking for trouble. And I'm not going to say anything else about that. Let's just say, maybe she found the trouble she was looking for. Found some good trouble, right? But and then it kept going. Then somebody showed up at my house a month later with a gun. some kid. Some kid showed up, and I was doing my show. I was in the middle of my live stream. I heard somebody screaming outside, which had happened already. So I thought, oh, it's some nut job. So I said, I'll finish my show quickly. I'll see what's going on. I'll take care of it. I finished my show. My producer had called the cops, and he shows me the security footage. The guy had a gun. He had a gun and a crossbow. I said, oh my gosh, what's going on? Is he still there? Did they arrest him? He goes, oh, he ran away. I said, okay. So I go upstairs to get dressed, get changed, whatever. I hear gunshots outside. Yeah. So he had showed up with a gun. There he is. He showed up. That's a crossbow. It's like an automatic crossbow with a magazine that he put on that sidewall. That's a 22 pistol he has in his hand. And so it had turned out he showed up with a gun. He had committed triple homicide earlier in the day, killed 3 people in southern Illinois. Really? Drove 2 hours up to my front door with the gun, with the crossbow, apparently to try to assassinate me. Cops showed up. They chased him through the yard. He went into a neighbor's house, broke in, killed their dogs, came back outside, shot at the cops. Cops shot him in the head and killed him.
Well, you don't have to worry about him anymore.
There you go.
How did I not hear about that? I know. That's crazy, right?
Yeah. They covered it up. And I tweeted about it.
They covered it up. Oh, my God. They covered it up. What exactly is your local PD covering up, sir? Oh my God. You gotta love it. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. This sounds like Fed operations, but I'm just going to float that theory out there. Why would they cover this up? They killed somebody trying to kill somebody. What are they covering up? They talk about streamers getting swatted all the time and putting the information out there. So why are you special? You're a half Mexican. Why are you special? Unless you're working for the...
The next day, I said, someone tried to kill me in my house last night, and the media said it was an alleged assassination attempt.
Right, that's the one I thought.
Mm-hmm.
To be assassinated would mean you were important. Who are you? You're a fucking incel that rants about how great white people are. By the way, screenshot. Why does he look like whoever's in his kitchen just made the macaroni with the blue box? And it's smelling nice and plasticky, and he's hungry.
I'm like, alleged? He had a gun.
I actually saw a post when they said this was all staged. Right, yeah. You whooped your case.
Yes.
And that's all I saw. Yeah. I didn't hear anything about this. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's the only one I saw. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. Even, this happened in my neighborhood, happened in Chicago, and I know people that were home for Christmas break. That was a week before Christmas. They saw the story about the triple homicide that the kid had committed. Mm-hmm. None of them had heard anything about me, any connect.
So it sounds like they didn't cover it up. Unless they covered it up because you're working for...
And it's not like it's about me necessarily, but it was like a major point. This was a huge story in my city. People heard about it, but no one in the media said that he came and tried to assassinate me as a political person. They just barely got that.
Oh, now you're a political person. Dude, what office do you run? Now you're a political person. No, stupid. You're an influencer. I'm sorry to say it. You're an influencer. You're not even a content creator. Unless you count ending your live stream with transmission pornography. But, you didn't create that. You just happen to have it lodged into your OBS. But to each his own. But, sir, you're not a political figure. Nobody knows you. Outside of what you put on the internet. You don't even go outside. The last time you were outside was, what, 2-3 years ago? When you went to go screw with people with a bullhorn at the RNC? Okay, so last year, the RNC. You traveled all the way. Family, he lives in Chicago, and he took that mountainous long Amtrak ride to fucking Milwaukee, an hour and a half away, to use a bullhorn to talk about the Republicans. That's his definition of, I guess, being outside. He went an hour and a half away from his house. He basically took an overnight trip. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
If he was like, if you were black, and the people he killed were black, you would be everywhere.
Yes.
Why are black people in this? You're talking to a white incel. Why are we in it? Y'all already told us you're not black. Why are we in it?
If you were black, and the people he killed were black, you would be everywhere.
Yes.
Oh my God. Weren't y'all the same ones that keep saying that black people kill black people and the news covers it up? Oh. They're the same ones who run around with them other idiots that say all them shootings in Chicago, the news never covers it up. Now you're saying that black people kill black people like that. It'd be all over the news. Y'all got to pick a struggle. Pick a griff already.
Yeah. Wow, man. Thank God you're okay.
Yeah. Thank
God
you.
is looking out for you and Trump.
Yes. Yeah.
The Lord is looking out for you and Trump. He hates God.
Yeah, they're looking out for me.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know what the hell you still doing in Chicago.
I know. Yeah, I'm trying to get out of there.
You're trying to get out of there. You're telling me all them incels that follow you haven't given you enough money to get out of Chicago? At least go to Southern Illinois with the rest of your KKK buddies? That's what you're telling me? Looks like your audience don't love you. Fam, he's been doing this since he was a teenager. He's still sitting in Chicago. That should tell you something. Nick Fuentes, you're a failure. He's 25, family. He's been doing this since he was 17, so that was pre-pandemic. Even during the pandemic, he was still streaming. And you know how it was in the pandemic. If you were streaming, you was making some money. If you had a name. You gonna tell me your crowd ain't give you enough money for that? Huh. Interesting. Thank you, DSB, for being a member for 7 months. That's a blessing.
Yeah, I grew up in the suburbs, but it's all downhill, especially lately. You know, these teen takeovers. It's like
Yeah,
it's,
that's
you see these-
crazy, yeah. But,
Yeah.
you know, unfortunately, it's happening all over the United States for some reason.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think it's this crime wave ever since George Floyd. I think they changed the rules of engagement with the cops.
Right.
They
What?
brought criminals. And so,
Excuse me? Did you hear that? Black people in it again. They changed the rules for George Floyd. Are you sure about that, sir? They changed the rules of engagement? Oh, Lord. You must not have been outside. And these are people with massive followings. This is the stuff they're putting out. Okay.
you know, in LA, it's property crime. LA, San Francisco, it's a lot of, you know, they break into your car. You just
LA now.
Into your belongings in a parked car.
They got keys. They stole stuff out of there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, I got money now, right? So I want to live with white people. So we move in this white.
You hear him?
I got money now, right? So I want to live with white people. So
I want to move where around white people. You hear him?
they stole stuff out of there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, I got money now, right? So I want to live with white people. So we move in this white neighborhood.
We move. I want to move around white people. You hear him? He said it. He wants to move around white people. Now his white neighborhood, they ripped him off. He's about to tell us this.
Right? I'm like, yes, I'm safe. Right? And then somebody breaks in my car. My wife has a bad habit of not locking the door because of where we live.
Mm-hmm.
So there were a bunch of black kids door checking, and they opened our car. I had my checkbook and
Black kids. Okay. Your white neighborhood. You know, the one that they say is so safe. Huh. That's me scratching my head. Sir, so that would mean to say that this country's gone to hell because of Trump and Biden, that this crime is up. So even white neighborhoods aren't safe. And with the economics continually going down, it would make it even worse, right? Huh. But y'all don't want to admit that. Interesting. Go ahead. Tell us more.
Information or whatever. And we knew they were black because the ring cameras in the neighborhood. And they was, yes, a bunch of black niggers just running around. That's what they said.
The funny thing is, y'all, you pussies wouldn't even go outside and confront these kids, but you were supposed to be hot-blooded Americans. Why don't you go outside and confront them kids? Huh? By the way, since I gotta say it, what kind of control you got over your house that your wife don't lock the door? I don't give a shit if I'm pulling into my garage. I'm locking my door. Now, what kind of car you got that the doors don't lock? I know most of these brand new cars, you don't lock the car after about 10 seconds, it'll lock itself. Oh, yo, 103, yes, they did. These Siamese coons right here, yes, they did say it. But wait a minute, family. These some bitches live in Las Vegas. Vegas ain't exactly the safest place to be living. Even in the suburbs outside of Vegas. Did they not do their research before they moved there? Or did they just move there because it's tax-free?
And then Kevin said, hey, man, our business bank account was in the car, right? Because I just wrote a check for something.
Oh, my God. Bruh, these guys are retarded. How do you leave your business checkbook in the car? Are y'all serious right now? You left your business checkbook in the car. Your business checkbook. You wouldn't even leave your personal checkbook in the car. You wouldn't even leave your debit card in the car. Why would you leave your business checkbook in the car where people have access to your account number? And Doc Rand, let me holler at you. Blessings to you for living in Vegas for 20 years. You're gonna tell me Vegas is one of the safest cities in this country? I know you're not about to tell me that. I hope you're not gonna tell us that.
I forget. And he's like, you need to report it and order me checks. I said, all right, I'll get around to it.
I'll get around to it. You have a business, I'll get around to it.
And somebody wrote a check for how much was it? $5,000.
There you go. You deserve that. Take that L. Yes, there is no safe city. But these fools just said, I want to live around white people, so we moved to a white neighborhood thinking we were safe. What kind of homeowner are you or renter that you move somewhere and you don't have something in the back of your mind, some shit could happen? Why? Because you're around white people? White people steal shit. These fools have seen videos of white people going up to other people's houses starting trouble or taking their packages. How you sitting up there saying that white people ain't going to do nothing? Why? Because it's a development? You don't know who's going in there. Continue.
Or was it 10 grand? I think it's $5,000. It was $5,000.
$5,000.
The name on the check was John Smith.
No.
Oh, you live in Madison. Okay, I thought you lived in Vegas.
It went through?
Yeah.
Wow.
It came out
Of course it went through.
It was a nightmare filing the claim because the chick was black and she was horrible.
You hear him?
It was a nightmare filing the claim because the chick was black and she was horrible. Or whatever. It was a nightmare filing the claim because the chick was black and she was horrible. She had this horrible attitude.
She's getting it for both ends.
I'm like, man, this is good attitude.
And then the company that finds out that you have an account there and they drop you, you're going to be the two bitches running out there complaining that they're woke. for dropping your account. Must be nice.
This is right. And I'm not even lying about that. I had a horrible attitude. I actually called back the next day and just make sure she did everything, and there was no notes in there. So I think she knew who I was.
Yeah, because some random call center chick at a bank, who most often than not outsource the call center to another company, is gonna know who the fuck you are. I tell you, they love to think that they're higher than they think they are. It is hilarious. Sir, nobody knows you. Sir, they don't feature you assholes like they do Candace Owens when she was at her heyday. When the last time you pieces of crap been on TV in a prominent position? Nobody knows you. Y'all don't even use your real names. What are you talking about? Oh my God. She might have known who I was, sir. Most people can't even tell you and the other coon next to you. They can't tell y'all apart. Which is why I call y'all the Siamese coons.
That's happened before. They knew who I was. Well, this is Keith Hodge. He hates black people. He hates himself.
Yeah, because they're gonna go do that. You're an idiot.
Right. So I think it was my I called back.
Keith Hodge. Like, there's not many Keith Hodges in this country. You're an idiot.
With Kanye, y'all still pretty close?
Yeah. We still talk pretty sporadically.
Yeah.
So I've known him for a few years now, and
Who starts the conversation? Kanye just tell you up 3 o'clock in the morning, hey, what you doing?
literally.
Yeah.
So,
Yo, you don't feel my white supremacist.
So he actually wears that swastika.
oh yeah, he's very proud of it. He loves it. Well, and I was over there, and he's got the KKK robe also.
Is it the black one with all black?
He's got 3. He's got a black one, a white one, and a red one.
Really?
I love how they're laughing at the KKK because Kanye has this alleged costumes, and the KKK would hang them. Oh, we in the vortex. I know I didn't play the clip, but we in the vortex right now. There was one other thing that, hey, them KKK folk didn't like. Besides black people, they didn't like biracials. Yeah.
And he's proud of them. They're leather. They're very nice. They're very because you'd think a lot of these. I think they're better than the actual KKK uniform.
Right.
The actual KKK uniform looks like a sheet.
Right.
Yeah, these are like leather. That's like a custom job.
So he went out and did custom swastika for his
Oh, it's like the Louis Vuitton of Klansmen robes and the bejeweled custom swastika.
Wow.
He was telling me, he said he's doing a project with the Klan robes, and he said, I was gonna have him wear the swastika. He goes, but man, I paid a lot of money for this. He's like, I want to wear it. I'm like, yeah, I can see.
I love how he's trying to put over Kanye West right now. Okay. All right. I'm sure he'll feature you on his next song. We run this Clavin.
Why? It's a
Yeah.
statement piece.
Right.
But he's about it. He's more hardcore than me.
Yeah.
I was going to go out there to LA, and I'm on the plane. I'm thinking to myself, am I going to be in a swastika T-shirt and a Klan robe? I'm like, what's that going to do for my image? He could get away with it. He's black. I'm in a swastika shirt. I'm never
Right, he can get away with having a swastika and a Klan outfit because he's black. Yeah, okay.
put that down. So.
Yeah, I got some images, some video of him walking around with a white T-shirt and a black swastika.
Yeah.
He's looking right at the paparazzi.
Yeah.
He's like standing there like this, like he's super bad.
Peacocking, with the swastika shirt.
Yeah.
He's funny, but
How is he? People try to say he's crazy and he's not all there and he's having an episode or something. But that's the video right there.
yeah, yeah, he's good. You know,
I'm still waiting for the
I saw him
jokes.
last year,
They're apparently supposed to be
and he wasn't
comedians. I'm
looking
still
so
waiting
good.
for the
I think he was
jokes.
having some health issues, but I saw him a few weeks ago. He looked great. He looked skinny,
Oh.
and they're always making stuff up about him. They say he's crazy, he's not stable. Every time I've met him, he's on the ball.
Yeah.
He's lucid, extremely high energy.
Right.
This guy works.
That should tell you something then. You know, for an incel who sits in the house all day trying to figure out how to make people angry, he still don't get it. Okay.
And I say this, and my followers, who may be more racist than me, they give me shit. Because I go on my show and I'm like, I really do, and I'm not just saying this. I really do deeply admire him. He's got this work ethic that's unbelievable. Wakes up at the crack of dawn and works from 4 a.m. until midnight.
Wow.
Never seen anything like it. And he's doing music. He'll literally be chopping beats himself. He's got records, box of records, producers. Then he'll go and do the music video. Then he'll go and take a look at the shirts, sweatshirts, the fashion stuff. Then he'll go and do the political thing. And it's all day. It's all in the same room. And he's just like a conductor, like of a symphony, doing one thing, then the next, traveling throughout the city. It's unbelievable. So, I mean, he's really amazing.
That was in the studio where y'all was at?
Yes.
Some people, I think I've seen a video of it. It's like huge.
Yeah.
Studio. It's like breathtaking.
Yeah, it's this huge warehouse. He's got these big LED video walls. And that in itself, if you know anything about the production, it's super high-end stuff. He's got The Matrix playing on one screen, Star Wars on the other,
Really?
and then he's playing Last of Us in the middle.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, he's a huge gamer. Gamer, loves movies. That's his thing.
I'd like to be Kanye. Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, he's a pretty incredible guy. At the next
Music. I don't know what the fuck they talking about. I'm about to Jigglypuff him.
Right.
And it's like you said, you move to a white neighborhood, you make money. We live in America. It's 21st century. We don't want to deal with these problems.
Right.
And it just so happens that it is these young black adolescents that's doing it in Chicago. And
Boy, again, for somebody who claims they're a political person, they really don't know what's going on in this country. It's quite sad, actually. Yeah, black kids are doing all the crime in the country. Okay, dude. All right. We should talk about the Kool-Aid Man challenge, but y'all don't want to talk about that, right? Y'all don't want to talk about that. Predominantly done by white kids, causing thousands of dollars in damage. Nah, let's just talk about the black kids jumping people. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay. We're not going to talk about the Hispanic gangs that are splintering off MS-13 all over the country. I don't want to talk about that. It's just about MS-13, right? But no, it's only the black kids. It's only them doing the crime. We're not going to talk about the rise of the Asian crime right now. Because, the news, considering that Biden gave them that law, they can't show that. Can't do that. Nah. Especially in the great category. We shouldn't talk about that. You right. It's just black kids. Okay. All right. For people that are political, yeah, they don't know anything about politics. By the way, screenshot again.
And so I went on my show after that killing and said, we're just kind of done with that. We don't want to live near this. Because here's the problem as a white person. You can
But you live in Chicago.
either be Daniel Penny or Austin Metcalf. You can either be someone that takes a stand and defends yourself,
But finish.
or you make a rash judgment and you're either in jail or you're a racist. If you defend yourself, you get charged with murder by a liberal DA, or...
Which he did. But again, a political person don't even know what happened. How did he defend himself if he wasn't being attacked? These were the same people who were laughing at black people a couple weeks ago saying that Rittenhouse killed black people that night in Kenosha. But y'all ran around with a narrative for a year saying Daniel Penny defended himself and he was never touched. But y'all want to have an opinion on Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf when Carmelo Anthony was touched. Interesting. I tell you, they dumb.
If you're wrong, then you're a white supremacist, racist, you're super judgmental, you're canceled.
Yeah, you can't just be a white guy who made a mistake.
Exactly, exactly.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought white people don't make mistakes. Were we not told this? White people do not make mistakes. White peoples are the arbiter of the law. They never do anything wrong. The media paints them out to be bad guys and bad females. We had Matt Walsh saying that Karen should be on the plateau of slurs along with the N-word. Huh. These are the same conservatives that won't call out these white women raping these students. Okay.
Other side, if you're not racist enough or not careful enough, if you're Austin Metcalf, you make the mistake of confronting the wrong black adolescent, you're dead.
Yeah, because he shouldn't have confronted him. Should have left him alone. There you go.
Your life. And if that's how it's going to be, who wants to live in that neighborhood where you're walking?
You mean the rich neighborhood that Carmelo Anthony lived in? You mean the affluence of Frisco, Texas? So where the fuck else are you going to go, sir? Oh, I know. You want them to go out to Southern California because white people never fight out in Southern California, right? They don't do no crime out there. Beverly Hills is crime-free, right? Laguna Hills and Laguna Beach, those are crime-free, right? The Silicon Valley is crime-free, right? Even though an Asian man beat his wife to death in their home. Nice home, too. It was over $1 million. You're right. Because anywhere where there's a huge population of white people, there's never any crime, right? That's what you're going to tell us. All right. Go ahead.
Walking down the street at night and you look over your shoulder, if you cross the street and it's a good black person, you're a racist. If you don't cross the street and they're a predator, you're dead. It's no win situation, right? So, tell you this.
I didn't say San Francisco. I said Silicon Valley. There's a difference. Thank you so much.
Well, you know, predator, opportunist.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect. Actually, predator.
Yeah, because obviously not every black person's a predator, and
Right.
but there are these opportunists that they're crawling the streets at night looking for people not paying attention, young girls, young men.
Because white people ain't doing that.
I said on my show, I said white people don't.
Hispanics don't do that. Asians don't do that. Okay. All right.
I don't want to.
They only do it in the daytime.
I just don't. It would be irresponsible if I had a wife and kids to live near black people. It just would be. And that's not to say that every black person is violent. It's not to say that every black person...
Not named Kanye.
But we watch the news. We read the papers. When you drive downtown in Chicago, you know who you got to look out for and worry about when you're thinking about whether you're going to get carjacked.
Yes, half your people called Mexicans. Yes. Huh. Funny how that works out all the time, huh? Y'all don't want to have that conversation. Go ahead.
When you're worried about catching a stray bullet, when you're worried about who's going to pull up on the side of the road and literally shove a rifle in your face and steal your iPhone, or
remember I clowned him on saying that? A rifle for an iPhone. Yeah, because black kids in Chicago are just walking around with rifles. Yeah, okay.
shoot you point blank, execution style, in Lincoln Park. We know who's doing it.
No, you don't.
I don't want to live near them. I don't want to be near them.
He's really saying that Lincoln Park don't have Mexicans.
That's a survival instinct.
Fine, you don't want to live around us. Cool, we don't want to live around you because now that we've seen what happens when people live around you, you get white people smacking you in the face and hitting you with mace, or they're showing up with a crossbow and a 22 ready to end you after ending 3 people. No, I'm good. I'll be around my people. At least my people will fight in the streets. We ain't gonna gun battle. Just saying.
And the way this story unfolded, it's sort of interesting. Apparently this white student, this Austin Metcalf, confronted a friend of the killer presumably black also, and said something like, "Hey, you're sitting in the wrong spot. You're in my."
There you go, family. What did I say last week? If you don't know what the story is, you best not say something until you get the information. Now we're concocting a friend. I thought he was sitting in somebody else's tent. What friend would he have? I'm just asking. Where is this friend? Now all of a sudden we're hearing about a friend. But y'all were the same ones running around 2 weeks saying he acted alone. So how come y'all didn't say something about the friend? Why did the friend not get $1 million bail? Oh, Yo-Yo 103, they already got their wake-up call. I covered that wake-up call months ago. I said they were sitting there doing all that biscuit eating and cooning. They gonna put up a contest for some money and a truck. And it got so bad that people didn't even care about what they were talking about. They had to go buy an X ad, and people still didn't care. They said it was only supposed to last like 30 days. It ended up lasting 6 months. Nobody cared. Plus, somebody already cussed them to hell. They destroyed them. Plus, they jumped in on that H-1B thing, and people went in on them for it. They backed away real quick. This is what they're reduced to. This is all on Rumble. They can't even go to YouTube with their bullshit. But continue. Go ahead. Tell us more about this friend.
My spot, something like this. And that's when the black guy jumped in and stabbed him to death.
That's not even what happened, but okay. You got the police reports, but that's not what happened. But go ahead.
Unfortunately, we just don't know. When you're on the subway, when you're driving in your car, when you're in the city streets, you don't know whether the black person in proximity to you is one of the good ones or one of the ones who is going to summon an unbelievable, I mean, literally, for people like us, an unthinkable level of spontaneous brutality. And Israel's allied with
Shit,
and
my bad.
so
Summon.
Neither. Yeah. But it's
Summon.
You say it.
you forfeit. They tried to. Interesting. Apparently, this white student, this in the wrong spot. You're in my spot. So, when you're on the subway,
Say it again.
when you're driving in your car, when you're in the city streets, you don't know whether the black person in proximity to you is one of the good ones or one of the ones who is going to summon an unbelievable, I mean,
Summon. I'm glad you said summon, sir. Nick wants a summoning. We're going to help him. Because according to Nick, this is what's going to happen.
This, my blue-eyed white dragon. Now, Blue Eyes, attack his Exodia Necros.
Sir, you live in Chicago. That has a train system. Anybody could flip out that day. Not just black people. Because we've seen videos on the Chicago trains of Mexicans fighting and white people fighting. It's not just black people. But we know you too pussy to go down to the south side or the west side. But go ahead.
literally, for people like us, an unthinkable level of spontaneous brutality, senseless and merciless violence in an instant. We don't know. There's ambiguity. You're sitting on a subway. You look across. You see someone acting strange or aggressive. Is this someone who is going to pull out a knife and in 2 seconds slit my throat and kill me? Or is
Now, I know he don't take public transportation because when you're on public transportation, you see that you put your music up, you keep your peripherals with you, but you don't sit there and stare at somebody. The fuck is wrong with you? But I tell you, these for a bunch of supremacists who say they descended from people that enslaved Black Americans, them ancestors would be quite ashamed of y'all. Quite ashamed.
Is this just someone who's having a bad day? We don't know. I'm not willing to risk my life to find out. It's not worth it to me.
You can't fight.
I'm not willing to put myself in a position to find out.
Dude, you had 2 opportunities to have that happen to you. Shut up. Yo, 103 Queen, I just saw it. Thank you for the $5 donation. That's a blessing. Sir, you had 2 attempts on your life. Cut it out. But we know why that happened, because you're working for
Scott Adams couldn't have said it no better himself.
Scott Adams. Yeah, okay, dude.
Guys, we got a new favorite giveaway. This Jeep Rubicon. Channy Apple Ray.
They're giving away another car? Maybe this one will go better. You are here. Fuck around and find out. I hope y'all say, you know what? Y'all should have went to the rally and put that out there so somebody could say, yeah, Austin fucked around and found out. All our giveaways. You got to go to their website now. Oh, man.
What you was pretty much, trying to explain to everybody, you're talking about urban Black neighborhoods. I don't want to live in an urban Black neighborhood.
Yeah, right.
I don't want
An urban Black neighborhood. That's a new way. You know how they say custodial engineer, aka janitor? An urban Black neighborhood, the ghetto. That's basically what you're trying to say. If you don't want to live there, that's cool. Then tell your cousins, them white folk, stop going to the Black neighborhoods then and moving in. And we wouldn't have this problem. We just go there and kill ourselves. Why do y'all keep moving around it? Why are you still having... Why are people that are not Black still moving to Atlanta? There's nothing but Negroes around in Atlanta. Atlanta is almost half Black. I'm talking about Fulton County. It's almost half Black. They not going to the outlying areas. No, no, no. When they first land here, where they going? They going into Fulton County. Oh, y'all don't believe me. I figured you didn't. Because you 2 Siamese coons don't know nothing. You don't do research. Look at this. I looked at this yesterday. Look at that. Now, the green is Black people. The blue is white people. Hey. Why is there all this green in Atlanta? Why, if it's so Black, why is white people so here? I just want to know. I just want to know. Virginia Highland used to be all Black. They pushed all the Black people out. Now it is white. Ask me how that happened. Oh, y'all want to talk? The West Side used to be Black. Vine City is still Black. They tried to gentrify it. Oh, you think I'm lying? Okay, I'm going to help you. Look at this. This is Clayton over here. East Point used to be wholly Black. Colley Park is still Black. But look at East Point. They tried to turn that into an artsy town. Look at all the white people. They taking those nice little $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 homes. Now they going for about 4. Because white people decided, hey, since we can't get into, Alpharetta like that because we don't have the money yet, or Decatur because Decatur's expensive, we're going to go down to Clayton County. We're going to take over East Point. We're going to take over Hateville. Next, they're going to go down here. They're going to go to own that. I promise you. On the other side of the airport, they're going to try, I guarantee you in 20 years, they're going to turn this at least 50% white. It's Cobb majority black, and there you go. You know why it feels that way? It feels that way because it's as you get closer to the city, it starts to become black. And more black people are starting to go to Cobb, even though they call it count on being busted. These motherfuckers don't want to talk to me. Tell them to stop coming here. Why'd y'all go to Houston? Why'd y'all go to Dallas so much? I'm talking about them California folk. Oh, they knew Charlotte was about to become hella black. They knew it. They started incentivizing people to go move down to North Carolina. You start seeing all them, those flyers and those mailers talking about, hey, go own property in North Carolina. They knew what they were doing. They used to stop black people from going to the Poconos and buy a property. You had to go through hell to go get property out there. They knew what they were doing. So I ask, and I ask again, if you so upset about living in an urban black area, get on your thing and tell people don't move to Atlanta. Don't go to Memphis. I think that would be nice. Stop going to Nashville. I think that would be nice. Yes, Wallow J, but you also gotta remember they were trying to turn Charlotte hella black. That was gonna be the next black enclave. And they try to play with it. They knew we would have ran Charlotte. But back to these assholes.
Black people that become rich and famous, they don't want to live there neither. Yeah. But it's a problem when you say that.
Yes, right, exactly.
Nobody wants to live in the hood. Nobody. The
And
poor
those
things
people
happen
in the hood.
to black people all the time. Yeah, poor people who live in the hood, they don't want to live there, but they have no options. They don't have no means.
Oh, so if you're not black and you live in an urban black neighborhood, you poor, you don't have an option. Oh, cry me a motherfucking river. I bet y'all, most of y'all didn't even know that Williamsburg used to be black. I'm talking about these two Siamese coons right here. What about Red Hook? Red Hook used to be black. Bed-Stuy used to be overwhelmingly black and Caribbean. Oh, y'all don't want to talk. Crown Heights was one of the most diverse towns in the city. Y'all don't want to talk. And they used to be poor. Now all of a sudden, they're some of the most sought after places in the country. Yeah. Harlem. We all saw those old movies with Harlem, the place burnt out. Now all of a sudden, Harlem, you can't get a brownstone there without paying $3 million. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Chicago used to be a beautiful black city. Them white people ran out to Joliet and Peoria and Rockford. What one named Schaumburg. Just move away. Sheboygan, they just moved away. Then they said, okay, you know what? Jordan hot right now. Real estate in Chicago's hot right now. Chicago's up and coming city again for industry. Come back. Black professionals moving there. They said, whoa, we can't have no resurgence there. Nah. Oh, no. White people come back. And white people moved back to Chicago. Took over the north side. But all right. They're poor and they have no choice. Why don't they go to a poor white neighborhood? There's plenty of them in New York City. There's plenty of them in Atlanta. Especially in the metro Atlanta area. They could just go up to the mountains. It's pretty poor up there. Nah, they don't do that. They going to fucking Gainesville. Hall County, yeah. Right by Lake Lanier. That's where they're going. Virginia Highlands, like I mentioned before. Must be nice.
Means to get out, so they stuck. I don't know. I remember I was in the Marine Corps. I lived in San Diego. I think I was like 1920. I lived in a black neighborhood.
1920? Is that what he said? I'm tripping. Maybe I ain't hear him say that. Let me look.
So they stuck. I don't know. I remember I was in the Marine Corps. I lived in San Diego. I think I was like 1920. I lived in a black.
1920. How old is this Negro? FBA Queen, thank you for being a member for a year. That's a blessing. How old is this man? He said 1920. Okay. He must have saw Sinners.
Black neighborhood. I came out because I would leave to go to work at like 4 in the morning. There's a bullet hole in the side of my Geo Metro. Yeah. Had a lime green Geo Metro.
How you know a black person did that though? Because you're in a black neighborhood. How do you know that? See what I mean? Okay. All right.
That's how I learned how to drop a stick. Yeah. And it had a bullet hole inside of it. Yeah. I get in the car, I turn around, I go up to the stop sign, which is maybe about 100 feet away, so I can get on the freeway. There's a prostitute right there. And she looked at me like this, and then she said, I was like, she must have just got done sucking somebody off. And I lived in black neighborhoods, and I was like, when I was growing up, I said, man, when I get the money, I'm going to live in a white neighborhood. Yeah.
If you got the money, you could have lived in an upscale black community. There's plenty of them around the country. I'm curious, though. I'm curious. I don't know if this is going to bear fruit, but we'll see. The Soul of Vegas, Discovering Black Culture and Community. Let's see. Spring Valley, Henderson, Summerlin. Now, I don't know if they're black. Young Black Professionals, downtown and Green Valley South. But you got your stuff taken. I'm just saying. Historic black community? I did not know this. Let me look. Where is this black community? West Side Legacy Park? Why ain't you go there? It's right there 15 minutes away from the Strip. Why ain't you go there? I'm just asking these questions. You moved to Vegas. I don't know no conservative that's going to move to Vegas. But okay, you moved to Vegas. You did that. You couldn't go there. You got to go around white people. I'm sure if you went to West Side Legacy Park, you wouldn't have got robbed. They wouldn't have went in your car. Maybe some Mexicans would have, but I don't think black people would have done that. You could have went to the Speakeasy. All right. Who is this? You look kind of cute. Let me look. I got distracted again. Leave me alone. All right, go ahead, Smash Bros. Y'all let me know. And she cooks. I ain't gonna play that music. Let me look. All right, that vegan food look all right. I know it's false meat, but you know. Why that nigga look like Drake? That nigga look like Drake. FBA Queen, thank you for the 30. That's a blessing. He said, thank you, KJ. You have been a blessing to us. I am in the black community of Austin. I love all 89K of us. I love y'all too. You know what? We should take the Siamese Coons and Nick Fuentes and walk through Austin and Gresham. I want to see how quick they're going to run back to the L. I was like, yo, we just going to find Harold's real fast. I thought y'all wanted to go to O Block. They tore down O Block. They're building up condos over there. Come on. We can watch it. Them dreadhead niggas ain't gonna touch you if you don't say nothing. Them niggas gonna be running over there for the blue line. Hey, FBA Queen, which line was O Block on? Was that the blue line? Or was that the green? I forget. You ever seen two muscle-bound Negroes and a little half Mexican running for the train? That might be kind of funny. That actually looks pretty good. All right, shout out to Vegas. Oh, that's the green line? See, I was close. I don't even live in Chicago, and I knew that. That's crazy. Shout out to Chicago. But anyway, back to this. You scary Negroes. Why ain't you live in the boonies around them white people? Oh, we know why.
That's the thing. Black people don't want to live in black neighborhoods.
What? What? If black people didn't want to live in black neighborhoods, why are there black neighborhoods if black people ain't there? What the The boy dumb. The boy dumb. Keith is dumb. Y'all complain about black neighborhoods, but now you're saying black people don't want to live in black neighborhoods. So how did Baldwin Hills blow up if black people didn't want to live in black neighborhoods? How did PG County blow up if black people didn't want to live in black neighborhoods? How did Atlanta blow up if black people didn't want to live in black neighborhoods? Them Caribbean enclaves, if they didn't want to live around each other. Man, y'all are dumb. There's black people that have been in Harlem for generations. What are you talking about? There's black people right now in Rockland County and Westchester County right there, been there for decades. And those are black neighborhoods. What are you talking about? Chicago, LA, Compton even if they try to run people, we know Compton's black. Watts. Even though they're trying to justify Inglewood to a certain extent. Come on now. I tell you they dumb. Conservadum. Why are you conserving being dumb?
You probably won't like people say it, though.
Right. Well, and here's what I would say. The problem is not black people's blackness, which is the issue. If you guys move next door, it wouldn't be a problem. Because I know you guys are going to be gangbanging or whatever.
You don't know what the fuck they be doing. And you use the wrong version of gangbanging. Never mind. Pause.
But hey, let me push back on that. If I was you, I wouldn't trust me. Yeah. Some things you just can't deny. I mean, we don't got that.
So you're saying that we shouldn't trust you as mixed black people? Good to know.
Well, if I just saw you, I wouldn't trust that. Yeah. But the problem is that, unfortunately, stereotype, which is based in reality, is that when you live in a black neighborhood, you're going to get this set of problems. You're going to get violence. You're going to get mayhem, chaos. And it's not even just that. It's just rudeness, people being inconsiderate. And
really? Sir, okay, you're going to get rudeness in a black neighborhood. So why are your kids running to our neighborhoods to feel safe? Why are they running to our doorsteps to feel safe? Huh? Oh, wait a minute. We're going to go there, family. We so evil, right? According to these folk, Carmelo Anthony killed that boy, right? How come Carmelo Anthony sat in front of the cop more than one and said, "Is that boy gonna be all right?" If he was such this depraved, cold-blooded killer, he actually had remorse. Huh? Huh? Ain't that something? It always seems to happen, right? Y'all are the ones running around putting up videos of these white kids running to black people. You got Yo Khan talking about, hey, if you get in trouble, go find a black man or a black woman. They take care of you. Y'all the motherfuckers cosplaying black people all day, every day. Why y'all want to be around a culture that you said is destructive? Nikki, let me help you. Who made hoodies prominent? Y'all associated that with crime. Look at you. You wearing it because you what? You cold? You in Vegas, you bitch. It's very warm out there in April. Huh. Interesting how that works.
And if people associate with black people with being friendly, being kind, being peaceful, no one would have an issue. People say, "Oh, great, black people moving in the neighborhood. This is awesome. Property value's going to go up." You know,
That's not what's going to happen.
no. So, that's the issue. And so, I said that, and Jason Whitlock, he's super Christian, as am I. And he said, well, this is an attempt to incite racial hatred between white and black people, to divide up the races with this, with this
Races are already divided.
incendiary rhetoric. And I said, look,
Incendiary
here's the
rhetoric.
problem. You can reconcile white and black people with Christianity, but in my opinion, that happens second. What has to happen first is law and order. Unfortunately, you have this cycle in America where you have very good laws, safety, you have police are active enforcing the law. And then you get the activists that come in and say, oh, there's too many black people, there's too much police brutality. So people say, oh, all right, we're going to ease up. We're going to, mass incarceration is a problem, police brutality is a problem. We're going to let them go.
Why did they do mass incarceration, sir? It wasn't because there was crime. That's not the only reason. Why did they do mass incarcerations? Come on, Nick, you're a political person. You should know this. This is what they teach you on the second day. This is after you get your textbooks. When you start talking about mass incarcerations. Why did they do that? Come on. By the way, screenshot number 3. That's one reason the FBA queen, free corporate labor. There's a bigger reason, though. I talked about it before on the channel. There's a bigger reason why they did it. And then subsequently, the government has admitted this years later. They were scared of the black middle class. That's why they justified the crime bill, saying all these pastors and business people in these communities wanted it. They were scared of the black middle class. They were scared of the young black professionals coming, making all that money, and getting looks. They were scared of the black family coming up, and they were scared of what the black family was going to produce. They were going to produce what I like to call the professional militant. It actually is. They were scared of the black middle class. We can look up that's not what I'm saying, Doc. What I'm saying is, yes, we understand all that legislation, but that's the underlying thing. They were scared of us. Because we had just come out of the 80s. They were scared. But we'll look that up.
Then the violence gets out of control.
Right.
The crack epidemic. Then you get the 80s, 90s. People go, it's out of control. We need the crime bill.
We're not only saying it didn't make money, because that's what FBA Queen said. Corporate labor that made money. Money is a big part of it, but the biggest thing was they were scared of us.
The cops back on the street. We need stop and frisk. So then it's good for 20 more years. Some people say the police are racist. We got to get rid of the cops.
I think that was a good law they passed.
It is.
It is. To get rid of off the street. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the cycle.
Oh, stop and frisk. Stop and frisk was a great law to pass. Stop and I tell you, they dumb. I tell you, they're dumb. Do you understand what they're advocating right now? These are the people who tell you they love the law. You're basically advocating for Fourth Amendment to be restricted. That's what you're doing. So any cop can say probable cause just to screw with you. That's what you're advocating. By the way, and I'm going to discuss this more tomorrow, you do know that they're setting up the military to turn on the people, right? You do know that. But I guarantee they ain't going to discuss that in this. Nah, they ain't going to do that. Nah, this is above their intelligence level. Trash pandas, they don't really think except for their next can. I'm just saying. Or the next garbage bag. But go ahead.
Where it's that classic meme, good times create weak men create bad times. Sort of like good crime laws create good times. Good times make.
No, they don't, sir. No, they don't. Did you hear what he just said? Good crime laws create good times. No, they don't. Yes, it was profitable in the 90s after the crime bill. Guess what? Did it get better? No, it didn't. Because people were still targeted. And the crime bill is still on the books, and it's gotten worse. So it looks like it didn't work. And he's about to do another one. You think that's going to make it better? Okay. Because we've seen how they've added more laws on the books. It's really helped the country. Yeah. Especially in the crime sector. Idiots.
People think the crime laws are racist. And then,
There you go.
the cycle repeats.
Right.
So, so what I'm saying is enforce the laws. And by the way, the biggest beneficiary would be the black people themselves, just like you said.
What?
Who's hurt by this? Occasionally it's white people. But the vast majority of people that are killed are black people.
Right,
The people that live in poverty are the black people. It's those.
Oh my God, I can't believe he just said that. I can't believe he just said that. One more time.
Laws. And by the way, the biggest beneficiary would be the black people themselves, just like you said. Who's hurt by this? Occasionally it's white people. But the vast majority of people that are killed are black people.
Right,
The people that live in poverty are the black people. It's those neighborhoods that can't have.
So, oh my God. Okay. So, in a poor situation, black people are most. Okay. All right. Most interracial crime is done by white people on white people, but yeah, let's use black people. Oh, wait, that's per capita. My bad. It's per capita. I always forget that. Per capita. Fucking idiots.
Have a Walmart because of all the shoplifting. So
Oh my God, he said Walmart shoplifting. Okay, never mind.
you enforce the laws. Unfortunately, there's going to be disproportionate, representation.
There we go.
In jail, but you got to arrest every lawbreaker. And then once you get the worst of the worst off the streets, the worst predators, opportunists,
It doesn't get better, sir. And right there, family, is what a lot of us have told y'all in this sector. They don't understand what the hell's going on. They still live in a damn matrix. This fool just said you take all the worst people off the street, it gets better. It doesn't get better. Let me help you, Nick. Since you need a refresher course. Allegedly, your president, I know you say you didn't vote for him, but that scumbag took all these gang members off the street, right? Did America get better? Are we living in a near utopia right now? Oh, he got to arrest all the black people because that's going to stop crime. Crime is just going to end. You throw all the black people in jail, that's all crime going to end. Ah, okay. Okay. Even when crime was down in 2017, why did Trump try to send the National Guard to Chicago? I'm just asking for friends here. Since you want to talk about crime, I think you need more police in these white schools. How about that? You just had them that Virginia kid get stabbed up. I think they need more police presence over there. White kids shooting up these schools. I think y'all need more police presence there. When's the last black school that got shot up? I think you guys should have more police presence in your neighborhoods. You have drug running in there. Didn't they just catch some woman who had drugs and guns in her house? Didn't they just catch that chick? I think you need to have that there. You be having kids being molested in these houses. You having mothers having their sons bring their friends over, getting them drunk. Like I mentioned before, the Kool-Aid challenge they doing now in the suburbs. I think y'all need more police, especially on the corners. You got these young high school girls getting raped. I think y'all need to have that. Show us something. Because if we put on police in your neighborhoods and the crime still occurs, then we know it ain't the police fault. It's your fault. I'm just asking. I think that would be a great social experiment.
Then you can reconcile the people with Christianity. But, if you want to evangelize to these
Oh,
people in
Lord.
Chicago, be my guest. But I don't think you're going to get through. When you see these videos, unfortunately, a lot of them are just lost.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, they made a whole show around that. First 48. That's a documentary of the cultural black race. Have you seen it?
No.
You haven't seen the first 48?
No.
It's on. That show make me racist. It's like it's the first 48 hours. They just track the point where somebody's killed in the first 48 hours of the investigation. Primarily, you see black people killing black people, but there are some white people. Yeah, like 1 out of every 100. Yeah, but it's predominantly just.
So should we go pull up the Court TV documentaries they do on white killers? Should we do that? Yeah, y'all can laugh at the first 48, but they make whole documentaries on white killers all the time. Put it on True Crime Network. They put it on fucking Court TV when it was around. Yeah, they do that all the time. Hell, they put it on regular network TV. Should we talk about John Benet Ramsey? They still don't know where that girl body is. It's been damn near almost 30 years. Scott Peterson is a legend in white circles. You had a whole politician kill Chandra Levy. They made a show. House of Cards, they were killing motherfuckers on there. Motherfuckers in the government. What? But you bring up First 48. Should we bring up Cops? That legendary Fox 5 show, should we bring that up? Huh. And they be going to them white neighborhoods. What? Live PD? Should we bring that up? Huh. America's Most Wanted. You know the show that was started because the son of the host was killed by a white person? Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. First 48. That's the best y'all got. First 48. Should we talk about Law and Order? How it started out with number stories. Most of the stories about white people. Should we do that? Nah, y'all don't want to do that. Nah, y'all don't want to do that.
Killing each other over the most trivial things is just, it's shocking. Yeah, the reason why black people have something against your message that you showed is because they don't believe that black people are dangerous any more than white people. They actually think you are being racist by making those accusations that don't exist, but they're 100% factually true. That's why what you said does not bother me at all.
Nothing is ever 100% factually true. Jesus Christ. That's what happens when you live in absolutes, family. You believe everything is 100% factually true if it aligns with your narratives.
I know it's true. Yeah. Because you pretty basically talking about niggas. I'm a black male. He has a problem with niggas. And me being a black male, we can't stand niggas either. I mean,
everybody goes back to Chris Rock 30 years ago. Sir, you're afraid of niggas. Listen to what y'all said 40 minutes ago. Sorry. Well, the live is 40 minutes ago, but listen to what y'all said about 10 minutes ago. Y'all are scared of being around black people and living in black neighborhoods. Y'all are scared of these quote-unquote niggas. These quote-unquote niggas you talk about could be leaving to go to work, and y'all would shudder if you saw them. And you a whole Marine. Interesting.
Chris Rock had a famous joke.
Yeah. There it is.
And it was funny as hell when he said it, but listen to this tweet, man. You made a great point when y'all was going back and forth. Jason Whitlock said, every bit as godless and stupid as your critics say. You're Ray Epps 2.0. I can't say it. Pointing foolish believers. Shut the fuck up. I can't see it. Let me see it. I can see it. You're every bit as godless and stupid as your critics say. You're Ray Epps 2.0, pointing foolish believers into a building that will burn them down for eternity. Many of the people captured by the wickedness of black culture can claim ignorance. You know exactly what you're doing, demon. See, I don't think it's ignorance, the black community.
It is ignorance.
You can't teach a conscience.
Right? Sir, it is ignorance if you've never been around those people, but you have opinions. It is ignorance. Nick Fuentes has never been around and lived amongst black people. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Y'all lived around black people for a little bit. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. You don't engage with the black community on a consistent basis. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. That's why you got pissed off at Sonny Johnson where she cooked you a couple months ago for that dumb shit you said. You not around us. See me, I can talk about the white community because I've lived among them. I've been in their homes. That's why I don't categorize every white person in the way I talk on here.
Take that.
I know the game. That's why you, Candace Owens, Tatum Thompson, all them, they sound ignorant. They're going off what y'all said earlier, stereotypes. And nobody respects someone that uses stereotypes.
The enemy is paying people on social media to promote racial division and conflict. The aftermath of Austin Metcalf, Carmelo Anthony is a psyop. I don't think it's a psyop. No, don't fall for it. Stand on the word. Rebuke.
It's literally a psyop. And that's why I said, I know a lot of y'all got pissed at me when I said it, that Jason Whitlock, I actually agree half of what he was saying. It is a psyop. And the reason it is a psyop because real thinking people, like most of the country, saw it as, is it self-defense or is it murder? You dumbasses went and made it about race. But the funny thing is you guys wouldn't have that racial component with it if that was not publicized the way it was. Y'all go out and seek racial stories so you can promote yourselves. Why don't y'all go find a story of a white guy killing another white person or a white person killing another white person and ask, is that self-defense or murder? I guarantee you ain't gonna get no traction. Why aren't y'all talking about that story with that Hispanic that killed a white guy? How come y'all not talking about that? This trial's going on right now. Why don't you try to say, keep the racists out of it, ask them if he should go to jail or not? I wonder why you're not doing that. Okay.
Any so-called believer and not pointing to Christ. Don't you think in his message, in a roundabout way, he's saying black people are incapable of a rational thought and white people are superior, so we're going to give them a pass. Pretty much he's saying black people are inferior to white with that message. Because I don't think they can.
That's not even what he said. Damn, they can't read. Now I see why he struggled to start, and his brother had to go struggle to get through it too. The boy can't read. Damn.
Right. Yeah. Black people are not vegetables. They know exactly what they're doing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's sort of the issue is, you have this new breed of conservatives where they want to hide behind the cross. Mm-hmm. They're pushing a BLM, woke. It's exactly like you're saying. They used to call it the soft bigotry of low expectations, reverse racism, whatever. And now you have conservatives with the exact same mentality, which fundamentally means blacks have no accountability. Right. Like you said.
They were never conservatives. That's the problem. There were a bunch of Democrats that y'all let in because y'all didn't vet nobody. It's like the two coons you listening to right now and engaging with. These coons were eating biscuits at Popeyes. They wasn't talking none of this until they started doing one or two videos about culture issues and white people saw it. They're like, oh my God. These two brothers, they're in tune to what's going on. We should support them. Broomhilda, give me your checkbook. I'm gonna use a little of our budget. We gotta prop up these two niggers. I'm sorry, I mean these two young fine black men. I think they're black. They might be. What was that thing you told me somebody said about back in high school? High yellow. Yes, high yellow. These high yellow fellas. Yeah. I'm only gonna take 30. Stop getting upset. You can do your nails next week. The budget restarts next week. It's the end of the month. I'll do it, okay? I'll do it. Thank you. I make the money. Bitch. What? Nothing. I said which account should I take it out of? I'm not gonna touch the savings. You use the savings for your coke habit. No, I didn't say. I said dag nabbit. The pen ran out of ink. That's their audience.
In the tweet, they can claim ignorance. What does that mean? It means they're not culpable. They're not responsible. They have no agency. We can't blame them.
You mean like how you played ignorance when them two people almost took your life?
Their IQs are very low.
Right.
They can't help themselves. When they rob somebody, they still at car. They're wired that way.
Dumbasses. So you just said you black. Now all of a sudden, you're saying you have sub 80 IQs? Okay. I see why Nick Fuentes is talking to you now. Thank you for addressing that.
I don't know. Hey, I think your response to him, I love your response. What you said. So tired of hearing that black crime is caused by black culture.
That's not a response, you idiot. Oh my God. He don't even know how X works. That's not a response. Jason Whitlock quote tweeted what he said. That's not a response. You should have read this first, then went to what Whitlock said. Y'all are dumb.
Doesn't make white people steal cars and shoot people. Yeah. It only works for black people. That was a great
White people don't make music that shoot people? Are you serious?
We judge the things I'm saying. I keep saying about black people. Yeah. Man, it's our culture. It's the music. It's in the movies. But that's just an excuse. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's coming from
what? Sir, so what about Caucasian media? It's not in there? All the gangster movies they do? That get Oscars? Get people in positions where they're legends? I figured you would think the podcast was fire. It was fire. It needed to be burned down. It was dumb. But if this is your speed, more power to you. Something wrong with these two. You're gonna tell me white music has never said we're gonna kill somebody. That's never happened. All right. Okay. Okay. Y'all over there cheering Daredevil and the Punisher. Okay. All right. You got it.
This point of view that you're teaching white people to be racist. Everything you're saying, they already thinking it. You just got the balls to say it.
Right.
So you're not. It's white people know what's up.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
I knew what was up when I was like 12 years old.
Right.
I said, I'm gonna play with Scott. I'm not playing with fucking Tyrone over there. I mean, the first gun that was ever put on me was at 12 years old, and it was a black kid, and we were on the basketball team together.
Wow.
Going in.
Get over it. I've had a gun in my face too. I got over it. Get over it. This got to be the conservative version of African booty scratcher. Get over it. You went to the Marines. You shouldn't. A gun in your face should not be still haunting you from 12 years old.
At the basketball practice.
Yeah. That's crazy. I still remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's true. That's what I intend to do with the show is, I mean, I'm expressing my opinion, but I'm also speaking for a lot of people that don't want to offend or they don't want to get canceled. And unfortunately, as far as we've come, because people have woken up a lot on a lot of different issues, people are still paralyzed out of fear of being called racist, saying the wrong thing, offending people. And the reality is that I think that race, it's one of those things you're never going to fully bridge that divide. You know, you have white people, you have black people. They're different. They identify differently. And this idea that we're going to be so Christian, we're going to overcome that, or so American, I don't think it's going to happen. And that doesn't mean we have to hate each other. I think we can live in harmony. And I think, you know, we can
Now we can live in harmony.
But, you know, the idea that the only reason we're set in conflict is because of racists dividing us or the media or the culture, it's just not true. People are tribal. It's who we are. It's in our genetics. Yeah. And nothing's going to change that.
I think this one Carmelo Anthony case, it really, it should open a lot of people's eyes how trouble we can be, because when Daniel Penny, what happened with them on this.
They finally said something I actually agree with. Yeah, tribal. Go ahead, explain it. Let me see if you're smart.
Subway with that Michael Jackson person, a lot of white people came to his aid. A lot of people came to his aid and donated money to him to help him in his defense. Which I understand why. I don't think it was a racist. I don't think then it was because they're racist. But then you look at Carmelo Anthony, where here's a black kid who obviously did something wrong. He should have never had that night. But you see a lot of black people defending him, not because he was right. It's because they're defending him because he's black. Yep.
And there we go. See? No, because black people just didn't want to donate to a young kid's fund, so they make sure he don't get railroaded. Yeah, we didn't do that. This is what I mean. We just gave him money because he's black. By that logic, then the only way that would work is if every black person ever put up a fundraiser like this, it would have been funded. We've seen plenty of black people put up fundraisers and not get funded. And it's like Torian outlined. The only reason why it got as much money as it did because you dumbasses kept putting it up. We said, okay, we're going to help the brother out if we can. $20 here, $10 here. Y'all brought it to the forefront. The news wasn't even talking about it until y'all started making a fuss out of it. Remember, it was sitting at like what? What was it sitting at? Like $16,000? Here we are now. He's about to hit he hit $500,000 because y'all kept talking about it. Take it down. Figure out how to take it down. We got to take down the GoFundMe. Okay, great. Now you brought attention to it. Then y'all put a post on about, look how much he got, but Austin Metcalf family only got like $157,000 because y'all didn't talk about it. Most people didn't even know they had one. They had to do a community note saying that this one wasn't real. Here's the real one. Yeah, biscuits, because IQ really means that you're intelligent. Okay, fine. Answer me this. Why white people got all that intelligence and they're dumb? Explain that to me. White people are supposed to be inherently smart, right? They're smarter than black people, yet they're presented with information and they interpret it completely wrong. But you're right. They're correct about the lower IQ. Asians have a high IQ, but they couldn't figure out that if you knock down affirmative action, that's going to ruin their opportunities. They found out after about a week. They should have figured it out mathematically right there. They had 7 years. Yeah. It's funny. The sub 80 IQs figure it out way faster than everybody else. Maybe that's why the earth is still spinning. Okay.
Yeah, it's up to $500,000. Yeah,
Because y'all kept talking about it.
The circumstances was the same, just the races were reversed.
See?
White people would not embrace what exactly. That's the difference I want to point out.
What do you mean if the roles were reversed? This is their rationale. If the roles were reversed, okay, fine. A black kid gets killed by a white kid. Yeah. Yeah. What's the answer, sir? Go ahead and explain it. What's the answer?
When it comes to black and white, culturally, I mean, spiritually, you go on Facebook, TikTok, it's black people, black pastors defending that kid.
They're comparing Carmelo Anthony to Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they're not even comparing apples to oranges.
Oh my God, you're bringing up you're bringing up people doing content.
Yeah, that's the only
Oh
thing I can
God.
really call it. No. Yeah. They trying to say self-defense, right? Like, and they even brought up the accusation that if you tell somebody to leave, that's bullying. Right?
No. Again, they don't know nothing about the case. Oh boy. I don't understand this. The case been out for 3 weeks now. You still don't know what's going on. That's sad. Continue.
Right. I was like, how did you reach that point when you consider that bullying?
Yeah.
You have
I'm on
to be
TikTok. I'm
mentally
looking at everybody's reaction
Yes.
about what happened.
Well, it's like you said, it's
Don't y'all celebrate somebody beating up the bully? So this y'all should have been celebrating this. The fuck? But again, y'all don't know what happened. But go ahead.
just
yeah,
pure.
Carmelo Anthony, right? And the black reaction is what you expect.
But white people, obviously not all of you, so let me just get that out the way. But a bunch of y'all are just a bunch of racist, bigoted, crisis actors.
People really believe that kid had the right to tell Carmelo to move. This kid wasn't working security. He wasn't given no responsibility. He wasn't the seat manager.
I guess they don't know Texas law. You have no duty to retreat. So he didn't have to leave. And as I've been saying, if he didn't want to leave, go get an adult. What's the problem? Y'all both could have left. Put your hoods up. Go get an adult or go get security and say to somebody in our town, we don't need him there. Let security handle it. Okay, Chode, they weren't on school grounds. Next. And if you read Texas law, it actually says that he was permitted to have the blade. Law changed in 2017. But I figured y'all would have seen that and done your own research, but I figured you didn't. So now you get to embarrass yourself in front of folk again. Now go ahead, say something else. By the way, this is confirmed from people that live in Texas that I know. So go ahead and tell me again. That's a lie. Number 2 you told. It never said you prevented all weapons. Try again. And by the way, even if that's true, Texas kids have already confirmed that they all carry knives. So once again, tell me how he wasn't allowed to have that knife. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Like, if that kid would have just minded his own business, would he or would he not still be alive?
Also, a lot of people are trying to make it racist, and it's not. It's nothing to do with it right there. This was self-defense.
This is all over TikTok. I see.
But this older man is correct. We made it about self-defense or murder. Y'all brought race into it. Sir, you can have a knife on school grounds. It's literally in the Texas law. The school district literally said, yes, we prohibit weapons, but we follow Texas law. Texas law says as long as the weapon is under 5.5 inches, you can have it. Which is why I said Texas gotta go sit there and they're gonna have to figure this out. Because on one hand, you're saying you can have the weapon, but then the school's saying you can't, but the school's following the law. So you have a gray area. So unless you're gonna go down there and become a politician and vote to have all schools check every student and confiscate knives, you're not gonna fix this problem.
See a lot of posts on Facebook. Too much is self-defense. Yeah. From one demographic of people. Yeah, it's all black people.
Did he have any injuries? Do you see his monkey?
Oh, so we're not gonna show the white people that were defending Carmelo. We're not gonna do it. I got it.
Clean face, nothing. No scratching or nothing. No punches were thrown from what I heard.
Sir, he was on the track team. What do you mean he wasn't involved in the meet? What the hell? See what I mean? How they don't know what's going on with this case? He's on the track team, sir. Next question. Oh, a social media post. Oh, okay. Should we go look at Austin Metcalf's? That's what we're doing. So we're going to legislate somebody's innocence based on social media posts now. Huh. Okay. Go ahead.
I heard so far. Yeah, it's something wrong with the black community. I was like, man,
yeah, because white people didn't say something, right? Okay, you got it.
If you kill somebody for anything, yeah, look, what horrible president.
Go ahead, Biscuits. Confirm for us that Austin Metcalf was part of the track and field team. Go ahead, go confirm it for us.
They were saying, okay, what? Do something, I'll kill you. Oh, do something. No, get out. Stabbing.
That's not even what happened. You see how they're making a joke out of it? You see that, right? That's not even what happened. But okay. But again, they just demonstrated that you touching somebody is okay. But these are the same bitches that will sit up there if somebody touches them and be like, don't touch me. Why is your situation different than his? But they're supposed to be smart, right? They the black people. They're not niggas. They're supposed to be smart.
I don't have it in here. That's why I didn't respond in here. I guess that's my white side talking to me.
It must be.
It's just that old case is like, man, I just lose all hope, especially when it comes to the black community. Because like, why would y'all even put y'all's name, your brand behind defending the kid who obviously is wrong?
Yeah.
Dead wrong.
Yet y'all put y'all's, since you just said you white, you put all your half whiteness into backing Derek Chauvin when he was clearly wrong. Even Ben Shapiro on the outset said that Chauvin needed to go to jail. So it's okay to kill people on the street. That's all right. As long as they black, it's all right. Where was this energy, you two coons, with Tony Temple? Where was that energy? Where was that energy with Daniel Shaver? Where was that energy? Where was that energy? Oh. But y'all had energy for Ashley Babbitt, who was wrong. Okay. Got it.
Well, it's based tribalism. You know, it's like you said, they're sticking with this guy because he's black. And I think what is...
That's not why they stuck with
is
him.
a contempt for white people, which is, you know... And you,
they don't even know how social media works.
When they say Rosa Parks, they say, oh, the era of white people telling black people, you're in the wrong seat is over. You know,
exactly.
What's next? A white woman's going to touch a black woman's hair and she's going to get stabbed in the face. Shot in the chest. Right. Don't touch my hair. You can't touch my hair.
Why? You see what I'm saying? They're advocating for people to be able to touch you, and you can't do nothing about it. Oh boy, we in trouble. Again, this is the overlining thing I'm trying to get y'all to understand. These people are advocating for people to put hands on people, and you can't be able to defend yourself. They should be able to tell you when you can defend yourself. That's what they're trying to tell you. These are the same people that sat up there and defended Brandon Tatum for pushing somebody who wasn't even fucking with him like that. Didn't put no hands on him, nothing. He just gonna go into a college and act like a thug and push somebody down. A white woman. Interesting.
Your black voice is better than my black voice.
So I'm practicing more.
Yeah. But Jason Wood, like politically, I align with him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think he's showing way too much empathy for the black community because he is black. And I've been.
He don't even fuck with us. He looked at the situation. He wrongly brought up race, but he's looking at the situation. Leave people the fuck alone. I don't understand why that's so hard to do. Leave people alone.
Through that, and I was like, you know what? I'm done with that. I'm just going to stand for what's right, and what's right that's what I'm standing on. So
Yeah, and I like him. He's a good guy. I was very positive towards him because initially I disagreed with him. I was very positive. I said, I respect him a lot. He's Christian. I agree. Like you said, I agree with him so much. And then he just had this nasty calling me a stupid demon, saying I'm sending people to hell. So uncalled for. But that is another stereotype, is this like crybaby thing that black people do. A lot of it's like an ethnic narcissism. And it's like you said, it's a bit of a
ethnic narcissism. Ethnic narcissism. I think we should just end it right here. Ethnic narcissism. Sir, you literally sit on your platform and say white people are superior. You've literally said that. You've literally degraded Jews over and over again. Okay.
spot where, a black conservative can be right on 99% of things, but when it comes to race, they want to take their ball and go home. When it comes to race, they want to be a crybaby, play the victim, and I think that's all it is, a blind spot. A lot of white people have it too, right. And not even to be that guy, but in fairness, there's an equal amount of people that I know, white nationalist types, very proud. They'll be the first ones to blast black people and their behaviors. You talk about some of the behaviors of lower class white people, they say, oh, you're against white people, you're against your own kind. Let's be honest, let's just be honest about who we are, who the other is.
Oh, Breezy, nobody plays victim more than white people. So try again.
So that's what I'm about. Just, you got to be honest.
I think of what happened with Carmelo Anthony. I can speak from experience. Growing up as kids, we were...
He's going to tell us how he stabbed a white kid and got away with it. Go ahead.
Natural hostility towards white people because of the past and what black people have been through.
We have a natural hostility to white people. We have a natural hostility to white people. Damn, these conservative influencer farms they just be cranking out the talking points, boy. Oh my God.
Been through,
and what I've been through
every day.
Stand up for yourself. Don't let no white people push you around. So I think what happened was he was sitting there. I'm just speculating, and then some white kid tells him to get up and move, and that's what caused this whole issue. Overreaction. It was race.
How was it race? Listen again. I tell you they dumb.
Sitting there. I'm just speculating, and then some white kid tells him to get up and move, and that's what caused this whole issue. Overreaction. It was race. I think it was.
The kid telling you to move, you went straight to race. An overreaction, yet he was calm 3 times and even asked him to throw hands. Where was the overreaction? The overreaction would say, hey, get it out of our tent. Then he stabs him. That's an overreaction. Police reports corroborate that. It went on for several minutes. Where was the overreaction? The stabbing was not an overreaction. Jesus Christ. I swear. Oh my God. Y'all can't. I can't believe I'm dealing with these. You got to pay for your crimes. I'm gonna have to figure out. I gotta have to call up a lawyer. Can we put a president on the stand for a policy that has harmed America? Can we do that? No child left behind. I swear to God. Again, the knife would have been an overreaction is if they came in the tent and they said, get out of our tent, and then he took it out and stabbed him. That would be an overreaction. Telling somebody don't touch you 3 times is not an overreaction. Offering to throw hands is not an overreaction. What is it, people? Is it an overreaction or is it proportional force? Please tell me which one it is. And stick with it. You can't play both sides of the argument. It never ends well.
Race. Yeah, if they're both black or both white, this doesn't happen. Right.
Oh my God. Well, I don't know when that Virginia thing happened, but that already happened. So try again.
Guarantee it. Totally. Just because he's black and we come up and we're raised with this natural hostility towards white people.
Yes, because our parents are telling us, hey, when you go outside, make sure you do reading, writing, and hate white people. How many black people are in here? Oh, Jesus Christ. The knife was already in his bag. Everybody there has a knife. We already established this. Maybe you need to go ask people in Texas. Their kids all carry knives. Try again. Black people sound off. How many of your parents taught you to hate white people while you were growing up? I hated white people so much. I watched Full House. I hate white people so much. Our parents hated white people so much, they told us, hey, listen, you ain't gonna go see, if you're a little girl, you ain't gonna go see The Little Mermaid. Fuck that. You ain't gonna go watch Lion King because Simba is played by Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And then Matthew Broderick. Our parents hated white people so much, if they found out our teacher was white, they'd say, hey, put us in the black class. All right. You watch Saved by the Bell. Our parents scoured, well, back then, our parents wrote letters to these TV production studios and say, hey, how many black people you got on staff? And if it's overwhelmingly white, they say, we're not watching it. Y'all motherfuckers gotta stop watching Spike Lee clips, for real. Oh, man. We don't hate white people. We hate their behaviors. We hate how they act. We don't hate white people. But I know y'all not black, so y'all don't understand this. See, when you're in tune with the culture and the nature, you understand this. You let TikTok dictate your movement. That is sad. We watch Baywatch. Hey, hi Lou. Only victims bring themselves on to project how much of a victim they are. You've been doing that for the past 10 minutes. I would stop. You know how Candace Owens and them said, be a victor, not a victim? You're being a victim right in front of us. I would stop. I hope you know the people in here are laughing at y'all, at you right now. Everybody in here laughing at you, acting like a victim. Hey y'all, Nahum is trying to tell us that he a victim. A whole Indian that walked up in here is trying to tell us he ain't no victim. That's gotta suck. You got your own problems. You got them Pakistanis on your ass. I wouldn't be coming up in here around black people talking about how we acted like victims. Y'all act like a victim every day. I would stop. Thank you so much.
That's why that happened. Yeah, that's why it happened. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't. He went to a rival school. I don't know what the area is like, but he's walking around with a knife.
Everybody in Texas walk around with a knife. Shows what you know.
Yeah, when I was in school. Frisco, I think, is pretty rough. Yeah.
Frisco is pretty rough. Do you hear this? That's what I mean. They don't know nothing going on. Frisco's pretty rough. Frisco. Okay. Let's look. He might be right. Frisco, Texas. Frisco, Texas is rough. That's what he said. That's what he said. Yet, Frisco Centennial is one of the best schools in Texas. But he said it's rough. Foxhound, how would you know that while you're underground? You must have some great hearing. And, you know, why are you around black channels? You ain't got no white channels you could be around. I'm just saying. Well, look at this. What is this? Frisco is among the top 10 U.S. cities that have experienced the largest numeric population gains between 2020 and 2021, with an increase of nearly 8,000. Huh. So you're going to tell me all them 8,000 people that went there, they're irresponsible? Huh. The nation's safest city. Hello, Dave. Hello, Millie. How you feel about your new prime minister? According to them, this is not. Look, 2023. Safest place to live in the U.S. But it's rough. That's what he said. It's rough. $2.7 times smaller than the U.S. average. So it's on the good half. Huh. But it's rough. Frisco, where the houses are damn near $1 million, close to. The home that y'all doxed the family that they moved to was over $800,000 in value, but it's rough. But wait, didn't they say earlier that black people bring down the property value? They live in that town, and their property has gone up. Oh, I know why he said it was rough. Because Austin Metcalf School had 3 killings in 4 months. That's why he said it was rough. I forgot about that. You had a suicide, a shooting with a student and their brother, and then the Austin Metcalf situation. Yeah. I forgot about that. Interesting.
May be wrong on that.
Yeah.
You may be wrong, or you could have asked your people that were behind you that are pulling up the videos and the screen captures to look that up. But you could be wrong, taking both sides of the argument.
Right, it's a pride thing, because you could totally imagine how that went down. The guy was like a white football Chad, handsome guy comes up and says,
handsome guy, pause.
Puts his hands up, something like that. I'm sure some black kid saying, I'm not taking shit from this white guy.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know.
Because
white guys are supposed to take shit from other white guys, huh?
Why else would you stick a knife in your chest? That was nuts. Yeah. Have you read the police report?
Yeah, I did.
You obviously didn't.
I don't think so, no. Yeah, but it's this impulse thing. That's the problem. Is
impulse.
Impulsive behavior.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Family. We can end the live right on this. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Baby, yes, we can. We can end it right here. Since Keith and Kevin want to say that Frisco is rough, he's not sure. Fine. We'll agree with you. It's rough. Why is it rough? Right there. White alone, 53.6%. White people made Frisco, Texas rough. They're the dominant. They made that town rough. It won the 9.2% of black people. Hell, it wasn't even the 12.7 Latinos. Wait, I'm sorry. We fucked the numbers up. The 48.7% majority, that's not Hispanic white. They're the reason why. Made it rough. They brought the criminal element over there. They brought the influence over there. Wasn't us. We don't have enough sway in that town to change shit. Because remember, we just looked at it. You got 9.2% black people in there, right? But it was one of the safest cities in America, if not the safest. So it wasn't us. Oh, you're going to tell me it's law and order, right? So it sounds like black people know about law and order. Just leave us alone. Remember how they ran around saying that Carmelo was a hellraiser? They tried that. I was like, that's funny. How come none of his neighbors came outside? They could have interviewed them neighbors and say, was he a hellraiser? You get some rando Hispanic chick talking about, I knew Carmelo. I knew him from fighting. Okay. Wow, because teenagers don't fight. All right. Teenagers don't fight in 2025. Teenagers don't fight. Yeah. But the kid with the mom and dad in the home, yeah, he get raked over the coals. But the kid that started it, come from a broken home, he's supposed to get it. There you go. I wonder if y'all would have said that if the races were reversed. No, I tell a lie. What if like y'all said, white on white crime? What if Carmelo was a white kid, clean cut, came from that nice family, $800,000, sister, he helps out in the community, honor roll, all that. And Austin Metcalf did that. Y'all would have said, hey, Austin Metcalf was in the wrong. The kid was defending himself. Leave people alone. That's all we would be hearing if they choose to report it. So, as I said, we're going to end the live on that. I don't want to hear nothing else they saying for that other hour and a half, because I know it was foul. And this is why you come to the new black media. For information like this. Because those pussies are too scared to go pull this up. I will see y'all tomorrow. Might do one in the morning. I ain't sure yet. I might come back this afternoon and do the Amru one. I ain't sure yet. But definitely Wednesday afternoon. We are going to be in the backyard and we're going to have fun. I want all you Trump trolls to come up in here and all you Trump supporters come up in here and we're going to go over this 100 days. I want y'all to explain this to me. Tell me where all this winning is. And remember what I said, no blocking tomorrow. And just so y'all both think I'm lying, We're about to go in the lab. This is the book. Y'all remember the book from last time. We're about to go in the lab. We're going to take notes. I dare them to try to lie to me. Anyway, y'all. Y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos kind of mess up your existence. But before we go real fast, let's see how that Dow Jones is looking today. And then we'll leave. It's up 272 points. Very good. Very good. GM stock slips after car maker pulls financial guidance. Ooh, okay. All right, because it's the end of the month. They're about to pull out their earnings for the second quarter. Oh, we're going to have fun. No, the first quarter. I'm sorry, the first quarter. This should be fun. They're going to cut 20. UPS is cutting 20,000 jobs. It's slashing costs. 20,000 jobs. Yeah. Adidas has said it's examining raising U.S. prices to offset tariffs. Deutsche Bank and HBC both set aside more money for potential bad loans. Here we go again. That is happening tomorrow afternoon, maybe 2 o'clock. I ain't sure yet. I want to make sure I maximize this audience. Hell, I might even do this. Well, no, Torian at 6. Yeah, so we might do it at 2 o'clock. I want to maximize that audience. Porsche and Volvo gave early accounts of their scrapes. It's July is going to be fun. But anyway, I'm out of here.